Hi guys, and welcome back. This week we're looking at a flowering plant of the week, and it's Canna. And in particular this one's called Canna indica, and there are many varieties, and they're used really effectively at the beginning of entranceways or in a perennial border. This shows you just a huge mix of different flowering colours, and they flower really profusely throughout summer. So the common name is Indian shot, and that refers to the seed, which is a hard black seed, which was used for, I believe, bullets when they ran out of bullets in India. Now, Canna, the name Canna comes from the Latin word meaning cane or reed. And you see it's a very sort of tropical looking plant. The leaves are very tropical and the flowers are very bright and vibrant. So here you can see it's been used in a bit of a border just to brighten it up. It's a taller plant, so it tends to be used at the back of the garden, and it can be also the rhizomes which are underneath in the soil there are edible, and there are particular cannas that are grown for agricultural crops, but also you've got the seeds can be used for jewelry because they're very tough. The seeds also can be used in rattles. It can be used to clean toxic waters from paper mills, and interesting enough, in China they use it as a biodegradable plastic, mixing about 20 to 40% of it with polyethylene. Okay, so they come in a variety of foliage. This one here is called Canna Tropicana Gold, and it's got really quite nice variations on the leaf. And as you can see, these ones here just starting to form some little fruit seeds here, which we'll have a look at for propagation later. This is at Auckland Botanic Gardens. You can see them in the back there, those red ones with the darker foliage. Canna Eden was one of their star performers. This is a nice yellow one, profusely flowering throughout the summer, and really quite nice to have in your garden. Of course, they can be a little bit invasive with those roots and those rhizomes that can spread, so you have to be a bit careful. So they really like full sun, that's number one, and fertile, very sort of fertile soil, well draining soil. Prefer good drainage, or they can also handle a little bit of damp and a bit of bog. Prefer sheltered sites, so not too windy and exposed, and they can handle coastal conditions. And then the USDA zone, they're about between 8 to 11. So there's a really nice one there with a variegated flower. And generally speaking, you're going to use these plants in mass planting, lots of them, and eventually they obviously will spread throughout. It's quite a nice sort of lemon, quite a pale one. So lots of variations, and very sort of drought tolerant plants, and also very kind of, you can see here they're getting a bit of wind, and so that's quite an exposed position on that road there. So different types. We just popped down to the local Mitre 10 to see what was available, and they had a few there. Basically the Canna Tropicana range. So this is the one that we looked at before, which is Canna Tropicana Gold. And also just the first one that came out was Canna Tropicana, which is more of the sort of purpley, browner foliage. Great for subtropical gardens if you want to create a real accent plant. Of course, they are a little bit, they don't particularly like it cold, so this is a plant you're going to grow in a temperate zone, and then if you're going to grow it outside of that, you really need to sort of bring it inside, so those rhizomes don't get frost damaged and rot away. So we're just going to have a quick look now at propagation. As you can see, as we were talking about the rhizomes spreading, there they are, and they just basically will multiply and take up a large space. This is why they can be a little bit invasive, so you've got to be a little bit careful. There's a small plant there, so if you wanted to, all you'd need to do is just dig around with a spade, get a little bit of that tube, a bit of the rhizome, and then replant it. So some of the dead plants, and that's the fruit that forms after the flower dies away. That's quite a sort of prickly little sort of fruit on top, and that gets a little bit bigger. And we're just going to take a quick look now at the propagation of it, and we're going to cut that open. Okay, guys, we're going to have a quick look at what's inside the Canna flower fruit seed here. This little capsule here. So we're going to just open it up, give it a bit cut through, and see what we've got inside. Actually, not a lot in there. So it's just mainly a kind of empty capsule there with maybe that's what's going to develop into the seed there later, but nothing at the moment. Just cut another one open. So we're just going to cut this open, have a look inside. This one seems to have almost 3 bits to it. Smaller seeds in there. Yeah. So if you have a look, you can see there's some very small, what looks like seeds. Those look like seeds there. Maybe they develop into larger seeds, but at this stage it's just very much an immature fruit. As you can see, we've opened the capsules up, and inside there's a few little seeds here. I think they're the seeds. Not developed yet, just an open capsule. Just one thing to mention about seeds, depending on the parents and the pollination process, then seeds will generally be a bit of a varied quantity, so you're not going to get exactly the same as the original plant. Okay guys, we'll leave it there and we'll see you in the next vid.